back again with another video. Coming at you from digital marketing fast.com. It's digital marketing fast.com. This video goes out to all the people that mostly work from home and they want to meet more people, but they just don't know how to go about doing it, or just don't take out time to do it, or maybe they're shy, or you're an introvert, whatever that means. So, I know I've been making most of my income from home for over the past 5 years now, most of it from home. So I spend a lot of time at home during the week, especially during the day. Now I do go out. Sometimes I have to actually meet up with people. Sometimes I go to places like, I attend like meetup groups in the local area, and I mostly look for meetup groups that's people that's into technology. So maybe one meetup group might be people that's in the social media, might be some people that's in the creating websites, or what else? Might be a meetup group that's into what's the other group? Marketing and promotions. So it's usually those types of groups that I go to. I usually go there I try to go to at least attend one a month, one meetup group a month, at least. Sometime two. If I get lucky, I'll hit three. But it's 1 to 2 a month. I've been doing that for like past year now. I go like one a month, at least. And I do that not necessarily. I don't necessarily want to meet a certain type of person at the meetup group. Sometimes I just like to get out and talk to other people. I might pick up a good idea from them. Or maybe maybe we can be partners and do something together and collaborate and make money together. You just never know, you know. Excuse me. Now, I don't meet a lot of people um, that do what I do. There's not a lot of people that do what I do. I wish it was, but it's not a lot of people that do what I do. That's why um, it can be a lonely game. It can be if you're in the technology, if you're in the tech space, it can be a lonely game because there's not a lot of people that's doing it. And this is why when you go to conferences is packed because it that it might be 500 people in a room, 1,000 people in a room, 2,000, 3,000, but these people are coming from all over the country. That's why the room is so packed. These people are coming from mid America, up north, down south, out west, some overseas from other countries. So we're like a very small group of people in reality. So just picture a thousand people going back home to wherever they came from, city, town, state, or whatever. That's a very small group of people. And one of the biggest reasons why they come to these conferences is because they want to meet like-minded people that's into the same type of jazz that they're into. Because where they came from, the support in most cases is not there, and most people kind of lonely. They're kind of loners. They have nobody to talk to about anything. And I can relate to that. I really have nobody to talk to about some of the stuff that I do, really. I mean, I can't, there's nobody in my family that's into technology. None. I mean, I don't have any friends, maybe one or two at this point. Any friends that's really into technology. Maybe one or two. And that's about it, really. And we don't practice the same thing though. See, I like my primary focus is writing books, writing to my blog, and doing videos on YouTube. And I do offline advertising as well. But my two friends, they don't practice what they preach. Now we talk about doing the same thing, but everyone's not on the same level here. Some of us are doing more talking than taking action. So I can't really talk to them about any of the stuff that I do because they haven't practiced what we're talking whenever I come in contact with them. So that's why I go to conferences because I know it's going to be people there that's on the same level as me or doing much more than me. You know, they spending more money than I am. And that's great. That's good. Those are the type of people I want to be around. So I understand why some people become introvert because most family members they're not very positive because it's hard to explain to people what we do sometimes. They don't get it. This is why most guys they'll quit when they come online because they don't have the support. Family don't support them. The wife don't support them. The wife doesn't even know what you're trying to do in the room by yourself. So this is why you have to fellowship. We have to fellowship and come together and do things together. That way we won't feel like we're by ourselves. We have support. We have someone, maybe you might need someone to hold you accountable. And that's great. So going to meetups is good, is okay. Going to meetups is okay. Going to conferences is good. Meetups is okay. Conferences is good. And I'm talking like any kind of conference or seminar that you can think of. Somebody's having it all across the country. You name it. I don't care what profession you're in. I don't care what job you have. I don't care what you're trying to do online. Somebody in this country is having a conference talking about it. No doubt about it. You know? And you know what they always say, your network equals your net worth. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's who those people know. That makes a difference more than anything else in certain cases. Now, if I could do it all over again, I would have reached out to more people in the beginning. But, you know, I just wasn't thinking like that early on in the beginning. But if I knew what I knew today, I would have reached out and fellowship with more people in the beginning. Because that way, more than likely, I would have been way ahead of the curve. I would have been much better off financially today if I would have just fellowship, spent the money to go to the conferences. Because at one point, I thought about going to a conference when I was just starting off, and I didn't want to pay the money. I didn't want to pay the money, and instead I just bought books. I just kept buying books, But it's not wrong buying books. Buying books is fine. But sometimes you need that human interaction. Nothing beats that, the human interaction. I mean, books is cool, courses online is cool, but nothing is going to beat that human interaction. Nothing. You know, it's priceless. It's a priceless experience. You know, sometimes if you meet the right person, um, you can grow much faster. You know, yeah. Now, some people will say, hey, well, what about LinkedIn? LinkedIn's cool. I can get on LinkedIn and meet business people. Yeah, LinkedIn is cool, but I haven't used it that much, to be honest. I haven't met anybody on LinkedIn in person. Never talked to anybody on LinkedIn over the telephone. Not at all. I haven't had any. I think I talked to one person on the telephone off LinkedIn. I haven't had a lot of very little success with LinkedIn. Now I know some people that have had a bunch of experience with LinkedIn, but not me. You know, most of my successes came on sites like Facebook, YouTube, Google. I've had more success going to meetup groups than LinkedIn. You know, then you got some people might have a different experience, but I think this depends on the person. You know, that's what I think. You know, but not saying LinkedIn is bad, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Really, it might work for you though. I'm not saying you shouldn't try getting on LinkedIn. There's a lot of groups on there. You know, you can reach out to some people. You know, you can have somebody, maybe a classmate, introduce you to somebody on LinkedIn, like as a kind of like a referral. Hey, I know this person. This is somebody you need to get in contact with. That type of deal. You know, that might work for you. But there's a lot of people on LinkedIn that know people on LinkedIn before they even got on there. That makes a difference. I don't know any. I didn't know anybody on LinkedIn, and at this point, I still know very little people on there. Not many people on there at all. You know, not saying you can't get to know people that's on there, but it helps when you know someone, when you know people on there before you get on there. Of course, in my opinion, some people might disagree and say, "Hey, it doesn't matter. You can still go on there and meet people." Of course, of course you can. Of course you can. You know, but those are just some of the things that I do. I attend meetup groups to meet people at least once a month. I go to conferences, and I use some of these social media sites as well. I've done a lot of that over the years, especially when it comes to Facebook. And back in the day, it was MySpace. Back in the day, yeah, you know, and YouTube to this day. Yeah, I've had more. I think I've had more successes on off YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. A lot of people off Twitter today, But it's been my experiences, you know. You got to just test these sites out and find groups on LinkedIn, just like you can find groups on Meetup.com. Same idea, just different website. That's all. So hey, if you have any questions, leave your comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.